Hello, today I'm checking out the Bettermaker Mastering Compressor. The company is well known for making analog devices that are really well controlled digitally and they sound good. I wanted to check out this compressor, although I do have enough mastering compressors that I like. I do use a lot of the AMAC mastering compressor. I use the Kotelnikov as well. I wanted to see how this one sounds because, well, it's a subtle thing that you're applying to a master. Usually it's subtle. So I wanted to see how that sounds, and the first thing that struck me about this compressor is that while I did open the manual, after just glancing at it, I realized I don't need one. So honestly, if you know your way around today's devices like this one, you'll see that actually every control is right here on the first page. There is no menus, no hidden menus, and you actually see everything you need to see. I'm not going to go through every possible parameter because if you want that, just, shoot a comment and I'll make one. I believe that's already available on the Plugin Alliance page. I just wanted to go through it, test it out and see how it works. It has 3 compressor modes and I'm really interested in trying those out to see how each one of those sound. So let's start with this track first, and let's start with the first compression mode. I will go with like a really extreme setting. And I'll go with the RMS. Maybe feet forward. It depends on the vibe you want, but all of these do sound nice. The pumpiness I get is nice. The graph I see here is also cool. So we do have a histogram of gain reduction, but we also do have this kind of a double waveform histogram that shows us the original waveform and then the compressed one. Does that one change when I do some makeup? Yeah, it does. Okay, nice. Just leave the makeup at 0. So it's pumpy. I do like the feed forward better for this one. What I'm really also interested in is this THD. Yeah, if you overdo it, of course. But I immediately went into my stank face. It does sound nice, every time saturation is needed on a track and you add that, you see it actually just glues it back to what it should be. And this one really requires some saturation on top. Also, I wanted to try out this clipper, which can be symmetrical, asymmetrical, or both could be activated at the same time. So let's see how that works without the THD. I'm gonna temporarily switch back to left-right, although I don't think there's gonna be too much difference right there, but let's see. Let me try to bypass and unbypass. Okay, cool. So we do have a clipper after all. on top of everything, which is also nice. And we have kind of a similar feature in the AMAC Mastering Compressor. So it does have the compression, also has the mid side, but also has a clipper on top of everything. This one actually has more features on that clipper. Also has the THD knob, which would like add the THD, the total harmonic distortion, similar to what a VCA would add. I like the way it sounds. Maybe just try it with a hard knee. Although, yeah, soft knee would also be great for mastering. I do like the way this compressor sounds. I just wanted to go also over the other compression types. I am stepping in it too deep. I wouldn't really want that much compression, of course, maybe just a couple of dBs. Let's try to compare that. It is really nice. Let's try the next one. Whoa. It's much faster with the peak detection. And I love that it has the peak and RMS detection as well. It's really good. Depending on what you want to do with it. Okay, so the only thing I did need the manual for, and which I discovered easily by just enabling it, is this high pass filter, which is not actually a high pass filter for the sidechain, which is right here. And that's quite obvious. I'm an idiot. There's a high pass filter right here in the sidechain. This high pass filter is actually on top of the signal. So you could high pass your signal if this is your mastering compressor. You could apply that high pass to just filter out some of the low rumble if any exists. Okay, that's cool. Let's see the RMS so we can get that slow movement with a hard. And try to bypass this. Of course, I'm doing some really extreme settings. I'll try to dry wet this in. This is a nice sounding compressor. Honestly, if you don't go overboard like I did, if you just keep to really normal amount of, mastering compression, like 1, 2, 3, 4 dBs, depends. Like I wouldn't honestly go above 1 or 2 dBs of compression on the master. Always depends on the material, but if you just keep to that kind of mastering compressor roll, this sounds really nice. Smooth on all of these compressor modes. Yeah, they do have different characters of the attack and the release and the shapes of those. Yeah, I like the way it sounds. I like the compressor. Actually, I think this has even more features than the AMAC, although this has more traditional standard controls, as where the AMAC has those weird controls of the normal RMS compression detection, and then you can feed that detection circuit with the faster and faster response signals to, get the compressor to behave differently. This one has more traditional compression controls, and it sounds nice. I think on all the settings, actually. I like each one of these on all the settings. It just depends on what color you want. And I think that with all these combinations of different compression modes, feed forward and feed backward modes, and the detection, of course, attack release ratio, knees, and all of that, you have more than enough choices to actually make any recording, I think, sound well when it's compressed. If you need a mastering compressor, I think this is a thumbs up, definitely. But I will need more time to test this out and maybe compare it to the others and see if my workflow is going to accommodate this and have this actually be faster for me to use than some other compressors. Because speed at which I can get the final result is also important. The longer you listen to something, the more fatigued you get. So the final verdict is, I really like this. If you don't understand half of the things I've said about it, you need to learn more, so you can check out the course at mixingacademy.com. Thanks to 11.org, it's completely free. If you haven't liked the video, please do. If you haven't subscribed, and most of you don't, do subscribe. Helps the channel. If you don't like my stupid glasses, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.